Okay, dude. Oh man, I've already. Here, can I zoom in on this? Yeah, that's good. All right. I'm not just gonna be like, okay, Kapala, God tier. I'm gonna actually give it a little bit of background, or to explain why I think it's good. The Kapala is S tier. Well, actually, let's start with the compass. Compass. I'm probably gonna pause like this a lot. Compass is pretty good for speedruns. It's amazing if you're doing any percents, but on a normal casual run, if you have a lot of experience playing the game, like if you have over like 50 hours or something like that, you probably don't need the compass that much. If you're new, the compass is amazing because you're not gonna know how the tile sets are or how they like kind of work with each other. So it's great when you're a beginner. It's not that amazing when you kind of know where the exits are or how the level kind of is entangled. So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna change. So I might give the compass a B. I might drop it to a C later on. We'll see. But for right now, I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a C, because you don't really need it if you have pretty good tile set knowledge. Alien compass, I never use it, and I don't think it's that important D tier. For one, you have to go to the temple, and Volcana, which, yeah, that's kind of. You're not gonna have any items, like bombs and stuff like that. You're just gonna get lucky with shops along the way, because you're not gonna have the BM. It's it's D. I've only picked it up once just to have it in the journal. Parachute literally could be replaced by, like, I would love if this didn't make a return in Spelunky 2, I would be happier. Probably. But it's super useful if it's specific. What do you mean, Yotis? Are you talking about the alien compass? I like the benefit of the alien compass. Yeah, the benefit is not worth the trouble of getting it though. Right? Ujadai is interesting. It's sort of useful. I never use it though, so I'm kind of biased. I might re-rank it. We'll see how it goes. You don't actually need the Ujadai to get to Vlad's castle or the jungle, depending on how lucky you are. You could just go to a sister cave in the jungle and just happen to see the BM. Or you could go to the volcano area and this is kind of loud. Let's turn this down. And just kind of bomb if you have a ton of them. So it's not mandatory, but it's still good. I'm gonna give it an A because it's not required. If it was required, it would have to be S, right? It is a lot of resources, but the reason I'm docking it is because you don't technically need it in some circumstances. Kapala is S, and the reason I put Kapala in S is because Cosmic exists. If Cosmic didn't exist, Kapala would be like B or A for me. I really don't think you need Kapala that much. Like if they just replaced Kapala with Invigoration and Cosmic didn't exist, I probably wouldn't even really miss the Kapala because getting 8 health is pretty nice. I think it's kind of overrated for just the normal run. Like going to Hundan, you don't really need the Kapala. You only really need the Kapala when you're going to Cosmic. Back when I was doing Hell Streaks for Spelunky HT, some runs I just never picked it up because it was just too much of a hassle to get and it could jeopardize the run. Hedged. Hedge it is not mandatory. If you have plenty of bombs, you can just bomb Kingu and then whip him to death. Really not that difficult. So it's 10 bombs and then you just whip, and then he's dead after like 5 minutes, which is a long time. But once again, not necessary. You don't need the hedged, so dude, I'm probably gonna put it in C. Because you just don't need it sometimes. Like on a normal casual run, I'm probably gonna have the amount of bombs. Like if I'm going to the jungle, I'm probably gonna have enough bombs to kill Ingu. Well, let's not jump the ship yet, Booze. I'm probably gonna rearrange some of the stuff. The reason this is D tier is because I never use it, and I've beaten Cosmic without it, and I'm sure a lot of people have. I'm curious to see what Ivory's take is on this. Does Ivory take this all the time? Well, we'll see. Well, hold on, chat. Just chill. Hedged. Once again, not mandatory. Or sorry, not hedged. Crown. Because you can just bomb Kingu. But I guess you do need it for Golden City. But if you're just trying to win, you're probably going to go Tide Pool every time. Relax. I'm probably going to rearrange like half the stuff on the list by the time I'm done. Often takes it. Interesting. See, I never take it, so. Let's see. Crown. I'm gonna rank the Crown B tier because when you're going to Volcana, you're probably not gonna have as many bombs as the jungle route because of the BM. So you're probably gonna need it a little bit more. Oh man, okay. Eggplant Crown. This is interesting. I actually really like the Eggplant Crown in Cosmic. Sniping orbs from a distance is actually pretty nice. Like not jeopardizing the run, rubbing your face on an orb and then getting knocked across the map. It's pretty nice. And also you can, you know, snipe enemies too. It's really hard to get. You're probably not going to get it all that much. I kind of want to give it an A, but it's so hard to get. You're never going to really... Plus, it gives you a ton of health. So, yeah, A. I might change that later. We'll see. True Crown is actually really good. It's super hard to get. But having unlimited bombs is pretty sweet. And it only has like one downside, which is teleport every 22 seconds, which isn't that big of a deal if you know how to teleport. But you have to... The problem with True Crown is you have to always have it in the back of your head or you're gonna die. Like if you forget about it for 20 seconds, you're gonna die. So... Or 22. It's super good though. I'm probably gonna give it an A too. Dude, my list is so jacked from everybody else's. Deuce, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Ankh is not necessary at all. Unless you're going Duat. I'm gonna give Ankh an A. Oh man, I feel like I'm messing this list up so bad. Ropes. Ropes in this game are better than they were in HD. The way the tile sets are, it makes you use ropes a lot more, especially in dwelling. I'm gonna give ropes an A. Tablet, not necessary. If you have a jetpack, not necessary. Ropes are not necessary, but they are really good in the early game. I'm gonna stick with A. I might drop ropes down to B, but if I get ropes instead of bombs for my first or third crate, I'm happy. Oh yeah, and they're great in CO. Tablet. The tablet. You don't need the tablet if you have jetpack. Or Vlad's cape, I bet. I wonder if there's a really consistent way of using Vlad's cape to just do quill and skip nowadays. I mean, dude, tablet is a weird thing to rank. I don't know where to put the tablet. It's mandatory in some circumstances. I don't know. I'll put it in B for now. I might change it later. Skeleton key, never use it ever. Plus, since I know how to kill Vlad without coursing, this has gone even lower in my rankings. A tier, well, we'll see. Invigoration is sick. A tier. It cures poison. I don't know if it cures curse. I doubt it, but and it's just nice. I wonder how it tastes. Yellow cape. Actually, I have a lot of respect for the yellow cape. I haven't used Vlad's cape since they did the update where the first initial jump or second jump is like stunned or stunted. Which was my issue with Vlad's cape, where if you hit jump for the second jump, it would always be a full jump every time. I didn't like that. I'm gonna give the cape a B. Okay, here we go. Now the meat and potatoes. Plus, getting a yellow cape in Cosmic, if you've lost the jetpack, could redeem the run. So, yeah. I think B is good. Troll tier list. Vlad's cape. I never use it. Got buffed. I would use Vlad's cape a lot more if there was a really easy quill and skip, which there might be nowadays. It's probably hard to learn. Okay. Vlad's cape is great. Yes, the passive for the blood is awesome. Especially in Cosmic if you're poisoned, right? Not exploding and losing your mobility is amazing. If I was wanting to beat Cosmic, I'd probably take cape over jetpack. Vlad's cape over jetpack. If quill and skip, the reason I'm ranking Vlad's cape lower than jetpack in my mind right now is quill and skip is so much harder with it, and then you have to do the tablet and all this stuff, right? It's a pain. Chillin'. Oh yeah, you're right. The chillin' squip. Squip? Skip. I'm gonna give Vlad's cape mainly because you can't really do quill and skip, or at least I can't do it consistently, but I haven't really tried. Dude, I'm gonna make some people mad if I play. Okay, here's my thought. I want to put Vlad's cape in A tier, and I want to put jetpack in S tier. The reason jetpack's in S tier, chill and skip is like just I don't even have to think about it anymore. Like with jetpack, chill and skip is chillin', whatever, is just like it's a cakewalk. With Vlad's cape, dude, I bet I'm sweating bullets every time. So just on that alone, I'm gonna put Vlad's cape in A tier because chill and skip is harder with it. And if you're gonna get a jetpack on 6-3, like say you did Vlad's cape, you got to 6-3 with Vlad's cape, it's on your back, you see a crusted jetpack right next to the exit in 6-3, you're gonna take the jetpack to do the skip, right? Especially if you miss the tablet, right? Putting that in A is really hard for me But it's mostly the skip. I think I'm putting too much favor on the quill and skip, but it's such a time saver. Yeah, that's the okay. Yeah, it's got double blood, right? That's awesome. But dude, okay, I'm probably gonna put it in S tier. Am I gonna put the? I'm gonna put the. I'm gonna put this above. Dude. And the cup is nothing. So if you don't have cup, Vladscape's pretty bad, right? So cup's above Vladscape, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop the topic between Vladscape versus Jetpack. Jetpack's a time saver. It's easier to use. Although it does explode. Jetpack should have a passive. Why doesn't Jetpack have a passive? Why did they take out the update where Jetpack like ignited cobwebs and stuff like that? Why did that get taken out? You know what I mean? That should still be in the game. Why is that not in the... Jetpack needs a passive. Somebody tweet Derek. Telepack. Telepack's great for speedruns. This is how I got my 246 run. Was from a telepack. It saved me like twice that run. It's really good. The fact that you can pick stuff up is pretty sweet. It's an A tier for sure. Telepack's A tier. It's dangerous, but if you know how to use the telepack, it can help you out so much. Telepack's great. You just gotta know how to use the telepack. You know, a lot of people are afraid of teleporting, but if you just know how a teleport works, then it can. It actually helped me out today. I was trying to get the Kapala in jungle, and I had a telepack, and I was able to sack like everything on the level. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's great. Being able to pick stuff up while teleporting is pretty awesome. The downside is you have to keep like if you're falling off a ledge and you jump, you could die. So you have to keep your jumps in your head, right? It's hard to explain, but basically if you're falling or if you miss a jump but think you got the jump, the telepack could kill you. But well, I'm not gonna arrange these yet. I'm just gonna place them. The only thing I've arranged is the S tier. Hover pack. Hover pack makes Onk skip super easy. At least the old Onk skip where you would blow up the entire bottom of the level, whip the idol, and then hover. Nowadays with the new Onk skips, it's not that great. I probably would have given it a B for making Onk skips so much easier, but with the new Onk skip methods, it's not necessary. All right, Breadbox. I'll see you later. I'm gonna give it a C because it does help out a lot in jungle for, you know, hovering over spike traps or thorns or whatever. It's pretty sweet. It has killed me sometimes though. Like I'll try to grab a ledge but hover just before I grab the ledge. It's kind of like the gloves in that way. Okay, power pack. Power pack's pretty sweet. As long as you keep in mind your bombs are huge. I've forgotten that my bombs were huge so many times. I've angered Waddler like twice because of this item, and it ruined my Cosmic Ocean runs. It does come in handy though, especially in the jungle. It's really good in the jungle. It's a C. I might drop this. We'll see. Get it? Yeah, so if you try to bomb, well, the method that I do is I get Olmec really close to Waddler, and I kind of let him, you know, crush all the blocks, and then I'll paste 2 tiles away from Waddler. And if you paste with the power pack on that close, he'll get mad at you. So the method that I do for Olmec, if I had power pack, I'd have to take it off before I'd bomb it. Because my method for Waddler on Olmec is a 1 bomb, which is too close with the power pack. But dude, the web gun used to be so good. What'd you do, Derek? Dude, the web gun used to be amazing. The memes were not memes in HD. They were legends. But it's a D tier now. So the webs just interact with the character differently, and you can't jump through the web as fast. It's not as good as it used to be, unfortunately. This would have been like a B tier. For sure, the web gun would have been at least a B or a C if this was HD. It's pretty good sometimes. I'm probably going to be done, unfortunately, because I'm running out of time. Bomb bag. It's good. Bombs are necessary. It's an A. I feel like there's going to be a lot of A's. You do need bombs for the key, Waddler, BM. But they're not as good as bomb box, so that's why it's an A, not an S. Shotgun, overrated, in my opinion. It's actually a lot better in this game. In HD, it was more overrated than it is in this game. Does that make any sense? It's a B for me. I don't ever really see it. Okay, so it's really good in score runs. If this was a score run list only, I would probably put it as a S because it's pretty mandatory for score runs. Unless you're doing true count, then you can just bomb everything. But I don't really use it ever. It's not that important in my opinion in Spelunky HD. It depends on what run you're doing, but excuse me. But yeah, I think overall it's a B considering all the runs that you can do with it. Well, Freeze Ray is pretty sweet, but I don't see it that much. That's a B for me. It's great for spiders in jungle, and I think you can freeze magma men too, right? And you can one-shot them by jumping on them. Okay. Clone gun. Clone gun can save your run. It's an S tier. If you're trying to do Onk skip and you have no bombs, clone gun can save you in Tide Pool on 4-2. If you clone the presence, it's great for score runs. You can clone your friends in co-op. It's great. Yeah. Crossbow. Crossbow is great for quell back. It's a C for me. It's got its uses, but it's definitely not a B. I definitely would prefer Hundun's bow, or whatever that bow is called. Camera. It's just a meme. It's not really that important. If you camera quell back, as soon as he gets out of the stun, he rolls to try and kill you. Although that could benefit you to get him to roll faster, but score running with the camera, you're probably gonna have a shotgun in your hands instead. So teleporter is a B because telepack is an A. It is a lot easier to use, but because you can't pick anything else up when you have this item, it's a B for me. Camera is really good for Hell. Yeah, it was. The camera was better in HD, I think. Yeah, for sure. because it just annihilated hell. I wonder if they would do well in Tide Pool. Not really, because of the gigantic lobster dudes. Yeah, it's a D. The Matic. Let's see. Not as good as it used to be. In HD, the Matic was like amazing. It felt better in HD. Like swinging the Matic in HD just felt like more hefty. Plus, for score runs, it was basically mandatory. Score runs in this game, you don't really ever use it. Although it does have its uses. For skipping levels and stuff. I'm gonna give it a C. I kind of want to give it a B, but I just don't really ever use it that much in this game. If this was HD, I'd probably give it a B or A. It felt better. It had more uses. Yeah. Like, I would take the Matic over the shotgun 9 times out of 10 in HD. If I was just trying to beat the game, I would definitely take it. Plus, dude, Snake Pit levels. I used to love Snake Pit levels. But you don't really see them anymore. So because of that, you don't really see the Matic as much. It's great. I use it all the time. Plus in HD, you could do this cheeky sort of back whip with it and kill shopkeepers in the vault or what, you know. Okay, Boomerang. Boomerang's pretty decent in Cosmic for blood and orbs. But usually when I see it, I just walk over it. It's a D. I usually don't even really pick it up in Cosmic that much anyways. The Machete, if the Machete didn't disintegrate, it'd probably be higher. But like, say I want to kill Yang and the only thing I really have is the Machete and there's an altar, it's gonna suck. Kind of, because it just kind of disintegrates his body. I don't really use it that much. I'm gonna say it's a D. Although I do love the new sound effect for the Machete. Okay, the sword. If you have bombs, you don't need the sword. It's great for the fish. It's if you're cursed, especially because you can kill it a lot faster. But yeah, the hitbox on this thing is abysmal. I hate the hitbox for this. It's horrible. Dude, it's a D. I hate this weapon. The only time I use this weapon is just to sort of make things faster. But anytime I don't need it for the run, I eat it. If I don't need it, I eat it. Bomb box is S for sure. It's a great feeling when you find a crusted bomb box. That's all I'm gonna say. This is horrible. Get this out of my face. Broken sword. Basically just a journal entry. That's all that is in my mind. I don't know if this has any other special uses. I kind of wish it did. I wish it did do some damage to Kingi, but it doesn't, which makes sense. But yeah, plasma cannon is amazing, but it was more amazing in HD because of the bow for Cosmic Ocean. The plasma cannon gets docked a couple spots potentially. Because you can't really carry it through the whole run, and it's not as fun, right? Like, if you got a plasma cannon in the mines for HD, you take that thing through the whole run easy. In this game, you just can't do that. If you're gonna go for Cosmic, you have to leave it behind as soon as you get the bow. Or in Sunken on 7-1, or whenever you get the Sun Challenge. Or actually, you have to get it in 7-1 because the bow's there. So the fact that you have to drop it so many times in the run is sad. And I wish you didn't have to do that. If you're doing HH strategies, which I think some people are doing, you could take it through the whole run, but that just sounds like pain. So that sucks. It's super fun to use if you know how to use it and not kill yourself. Dude, I just don't see it that much. Same thing with the Matic. You just don't see it. It's a C. This is an S in HD, but because of Undone and Sunken, you just never use it. Boomerang? No, Boomerang's dog poop tier. This is dog poop. The Scepter's pretty cool. It's locked in Temple though, so that kind of sucks. Although Temple is my favorite area, but it's so much harder than Tide Pool. Long skip is impossible there. I don't ever use the Scepter that much unless I'm really tryharding to do a True Crown run, and I need that mandatory Golden City altar. And this is a lot of talking. My voice is starting to go. But I want to be concise and give my opinion or my viewpoint on these items instead of just being like, oh, it's a D, it sucks. You know what I mean? So, and the stuff that I've already placed, I'm probably going to rearrange. So, Scepter's great. I love using it in the temple, not dealing with the temple enemies face to face is super nice. But you have to use it on a door or a floor later. So unless you don't go City of Gold, which kind of sucks, that's kind of why you go temples for the City of Gold, right? Yeah, I just don't see it. C. And dude, I'm really tempted to put this in D, but because it's so useful on the floors you do get it on, it's a C. But I never see it. And honestly, if you're just trying to win, you'd go Tide. So because you get to save your Onk. The bow, it's mandatory. It's a crappy item, but it's mandatory. Honestly, the bow itself is like D tier, like it's or it's C. Yeah, it is mandatory for cosmic runs, but it's just a bad item, right? It's just crappy. The bow is also crappy, or sorry, the light arrow. It just has one use in the whole game. I kind of wish the bow and arrow setup made plasma cannon. Like, I wish it was set up in a way that plasma cannon was available more, but it isn't. Yeah, it's just one use to get to the cosmic. It's kind of crappy, but it's the same thing as this. So this should be B tier technically, but I hate this item. I don't like that you're forced to carry this. Like, it's kind of like the eggplant situation, right? But kind of not. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it just takes up so much of the run, which is why I hated it. The fact that you're forced to carry it from Moon Challenge to Olmec, and then from Sunken to, or from Sun Challenge to Undone, is kind of crappy because you could be holding so much more stuff or something a lot better. The shield is a meme, and it for some reason makes water physics go insane. So if you haven't tried that, go try that. If I'm putting the shield, dude, They're both bad. I'm gonna put this above, but they're both pretty bad. The hitbox on this has been adjusted since the game came out, like 3 times or something like that. It's still bad. I've taken shotgun shots to the kneecaps with the metal shield in my face several times, so I'll never pick up this item. It doesn't do what it's intended to do. It's not good. If it did what it was intended to do, I would probably like it a lot more, but it doesn't work sometimes, so it's a D tier. Like if you are hugged up against the wall in a certain way and you get shot, it's like this shield doesn't exist. It's super weird. Okay. Idle. Pretty great if you're going jungle to get more money for the BM. Not really mandatory, especially with the new strategy that I saw the other day where you could rob the BM without attacking any shopkeepers. So it's probably... It's a C. I do love getting them, but it's not mandatory. This is a D. I never get it. They're probably really good for score runs, but it's just one of those things I never think about during a run. Just like a lot of these other things. Ghost Pot used to be garbage when the game first came out, but with the new updates, especially in Neo, where they would hide it behind a laser wall, it improved the Ghost Pot a lot. But it's not mandatory, and it can kind of kill your run. Although it does help out a lot in dwelling, I'm gonna give it a C. The rock should be on the list, right? Paste. If you know how to kill Hundun without paste, paste is amazing in Cosmic. Paste is S tier for sure. Yeah, it changes the run quite a bit. So yeah. The only negative about paste is if you always get paste, you'll never know how to cook bombs. That's the only negative for paste. Okay, Bird, I'll see you later. Thanks for hopping in. I'm about to end the stream here soon. These I don't ever use these anymore. If I have jetpack, I'll never look at these. The room that you get these in is a death trap. The first couple of runs where I was just trying to get to Hundun, I would die in this room. I think I died in this room 5 or 6 times before I ever got Quillen on 6-3. Like the room itself was horrible. Nowadays I don't have much problem with that room, but I used to have a ton of issue. I think it was because I didn't really know what to look like. If you got the tablet and it told you what it was, because I was so new, I didn't really know what it looked like, so I was just constantly looking at these things and I was just dying on the room. Now that they're not necessary, it probably is going to drop in a couple ranks, but I'm going to put it with the tablet. That seems fine, but not necessary. And the room that these are in is horrible. Eggplant itself, it's just a burden. It's not a good item at all. It's a D. It's not good. It's awesome that it exists, but it only exists because of this, or to get this, or in HD to, you know, meme on Yama. But turkeys, I probably would have ranked this higher if I made this list earlier, but because I've been playing the game for such a long time, I don't really need turkeys that much for the dwelling. I kind of just either get health on Quellback. Well, cooked turkeys, yeah, it's whatever. I'm gonna give it a C because it actually benefits you in some way, other than some of these items, which this does, but it's kind of hard to get. So, the elixir, locked away in the temple. Pretty good. It cures curse. I wish it probably heals you too, right? I think it heals you like jelly. It's a C. It's really good in certain circumstances, specific circumstances. The clover is really good. Not mandatory, but it could save your run for sure. Especially when you're in black market. Oh my god. Yeah, super good item. Because the levels in Spelunky HD are a lot bigger. I'm glad they added something like this. Specs are great. You're great in tide pool for ink. Great in Olmec's layer where it's dark. If you're cursed and you don't have specs in Olmec's layer, it's kind of terrifying because of the bats and skeletons. And then obviously it's good in just normal dark levels. I like the specs a lot. I'm gonna give them an A. I bet people would rank these lower, but they really help you out. You could just up the gamma, I guess, but yeah. Gloves are interesting. I think the gloves are good, but they're good under certain circumstances. You don't really want them with the jetpack. You don't want them with hover pack. You really only want them with Vlad's cape, but more so with yellow pack or cape. Because Vlad's cape has a double jump, the gloves aren't really that necessary. With cape and spring shoes and gloves, it's a pretty sweet combo. I'm gonna give it a B because they do come in handy, especially in the dwelling when you're trying to get up to get the key or something. The Mitt is the Mitt I used to think was garbage in HD, and I still think it is garbage in HD specifically. In Spelunky 2, it's a lot better. It's got a passive, so if like a rock comes flying at you or a skull, they'll just passively catch it and not be affected by it. And because of the shopkeeper like radius of danger, so if you throw a bomb at a shopkeeper in HD, as soon as it touched them, they would get mad and then start to freak out. In Spelunky 2, if it gets near them, they'll get mad and freak out. So the Mitt having a speed buff when throwing bombs is super good too. I'm gonna give it an A. I've really come around to that item in Spelunky 2 specifically. I actually really like seeing it nowadays. Even without paste, it's still pretty nice. Spring shoes. I think this one's going to be a little bit of a hot topic. Because some people think that spring shoes slightly changes your mobility. And I think it does slightly. But they're pretty nice. Especially in Olmec. Jeez, I can't talk anymore. Olmec's layer when you're trying to get the Ankh, it makes that section when you're climbing up so much more easy. Like, oh my god, it's not a pain at all. They're really good. I love spring shoes. They probably do affect your movement though, slightly, but it's not enough to really kill me. It's great for quill and skip because it's a slightly more boost to get up to the top. It's probably required for some quill and skip methods. Maybe. It's an A for sure. Yeah. Yeah, well, I actually don't really like getting the spring shoes in jungle because you can hit your head on thorns a ton. especially when you're trying to get a sister. But they are really good in jungle for sure. But if I had to choose between spring shoes and spike shoes in the jungle, I choose spike shoes every time. Spike shoes are pretty stellar. They definitely belong above spring shoes. I'm not gonna put them in S. You don't really need these. It does make the run a ton easier. It's almost comparable to paste in how much it changes the run, but paste is better for sure, but it's close. Okay, now I'm gonna rearrange. Dude, I'm sorry about this looping track. I just realized. Here, let me change that. Let's change it to something else. I don't know. Jesus. Isn't there a here Gist? Gist shop music. Let's change it to this. Yeah, there we go. Better. All right, now let's fix our list. S tier looks like it's in a good spot. I'm gonna push paste up. Paste is better than clone gun. Yeah. Paste. I think paste belongs there. Yeah, I think S tier is pretty good for me. Jedi, you're probably gonna want it every run. It's not needed, but you're probably gonna want it. Ankh is over these, even though it's not necessary. But if you're going cosmic, it's pretty sweet. It's hard to micromanage these. What a list, huh? Strange. I'm trying to like go through and see, is Telepack better than Boots? No. It can't be. For the most part, no. Boots are better than Jelly. Yeah, boots go up, man. Mainly because these are so hard to get. Ropes are a rope pile is better than a bomb bag in Spelunky 2, in my opinion. I wish there was a rope box, man. Like, why isn't there a rope box? That should exist. I want the clover to be next to the jelly. Mitt's pretty solid. Let's put the Mitt up here. I've really come around on the Mitt. I feel like ropes should be above Ujedi. Yeah, they should. Ropes should be above Ujedi. And bombs too. Yeah. I'm okay with this. At first glance. Man, what a weird list. Man, this is strange. I'm just gonna keep B as it is. Whatever. I think I'm just gonna keep everything else like it is. Okay, Alien Compass. Let's talk about Alien Compass. I never really use it because it forces you to go to two areas: Volcana and Temple, and then go to Cosmic. I'm gonna keep it as D. But if I grind for this item and try to get a Cosmic win, I bet it would rank higher. But right now, I'm gonna keep it a D. But that's mainly because I never really use it. So, but it's up there for D. This is gonna go here. This is just this I don't ever need, ever. Yeah, this is fine. Well, this is such a unique list, I feel. Why is this so hard to make? Huh. feel like this stuff should be higher. Yeah. That's fine. I would put this above compass. Okay, I think that's gonna be my list. What do you guys think? Okay, if you guys had to choose something to change, what would you change? What's the one item you would change on this list?